We're back, people, and today we're going to film on Theo Wease, Miami Dolphins receiver, undrafted, had a really strong game, 2 touchdowns, looked the part. Clearly, him and Quinn Ewers have built that chemistry that was reported throughout camp, and you got to see it in this game. Just continue to build strong, overall, even outside of the 2 touchdowns, had a productive day. I think for him, just looking at where the roster is at wide receiver, he's still looking like a practice squad candidate, which is fine. I think, he's not the most explosive player. I think his acceleration looks pretty good in this. He's not going to blow you away with, like, when he has to make, like, sharp cuts, his change of direction. But you can see a guy that runs his routes with good timing. He gets to where he needs to be. He's a guy that receivers or that quarterbacks can trust. So that's a nice part of his game. Very smart, savvy player. Good size. Just, yeah, I think the reason he went undrafted was because of that lack of explosive athleticism. You can still see like how he can make these plays. This was a huge boost for him. Definitely has put him at least in competition and somebody you got to consider. But right now I'm looking at practice squad potential. You never know, like injuries happen, or the Dolphins could end up, trading one of their receivers for another position of need, and then you were able to then keep Theo on the practice or on the main squad. The it's just one of those positions the Dolphins are very deep in right now. But I do like the prospect of keeping Theo Wease around, and if you do try, you probably will get him on the practice squad. He could get claimed, but I would still say it's probably leaning towards not. But this is the game that could, I guess, put it over the top. Here at the top, press man just does a good job, like with his releases, his route running. Like he doesn't waste a ton of time. He doesn't like need to. He just gets off the ball, split release, and then gets to where he needs to. Like that, just shows some good suddenness off the ball. Boom, split release, give yourself a two-way go, and then get to the inside. Show some quickness and acceleration like that, and then is able to create some separation there with Ewers able to throw with timing. He's able to make this catch in the end zone. He's not going to be a super huge separator because of, he's not going to, like, I think, he separates more so on, like, these 45-degree breaking routes. Not these ones where you have to break at 90, because I think when he has to, like, sink his hips like that, he can get a little stuck in transition. But here's where he's able to create a little more separation. And also, I think it has to do with it's a combo of him being a little more comfortable there, but also his nuance allows for that. Here's a heads-up play, his second touchdown working across the field on this play-action boot as a crosser. He realizes, he feels what's going on. He sees Ewers has nothing to work with. This safety's out in front of him. So he, puts on the brakes. Him and Quinn on the same page. Find it on the back shoulder. Come back towards the ball. Get the touchdown. Just a heads-up play. Those are things that you like to see, and that I think coaches really like, and definitely give you a head up over some other people that are typically on your level. Here's, Theo Wease doing the stuff in motion. Very solid route. Love how he's able to work in the blind spot. So off the motion, get him going upfield. Good acceleration. I think with that first, like, he moves pretty well in the acceleration phase. And he does a good job working into this corner's blind spot. Look how he's, like, slightly attacking outside leverage here. Work into that blind spot, and then as he, like, peeks into it, this DB, like, takes now some false steps, open his hips, and then Theo's able to break back across. Even though he's really rounding that route off, him just doing that really helps it out. And then you and the QB on the same page. He secures the catch low. He made a lot of better catches in this game. I think last week and even there was, like, his first target in this game, he didn't make a contested catch. So maybe making some more contested catches would help. The DBs did knock the ball out, so they weren't drops or anything, but making some better work in this game. This one where he doesn't get it, but, like, to me, this is one where you can see his acceleration and also the nuance that he has in the route stems. Being, kind of tightly aligned in a little bit of a stack there with the other receiver. Look how he attacks outside leverage. He stays patient and allows this guy to get off the ball. Attacks outside leverage, which gets this team to move off his spot. And then look how he just instantly accelerates back to the inside. Like if Quinn was, not rolling out to his left, Theo Wease could have potentially. He created some nice separation there. I think when he is able to accelerate and work on, like, a straight line like this, like, he looks like he's moving pretty good. It's more of the change of direction, crazy explosiveness that's not there. But I really think his acceleration impressed me more so in this game, especially at his size. And then even doing some stuff in the slot, just quick hitter over the middle. Once he kind of works, past this first guy, snap his head around once he gets into that first window. See where Quinn's throwing it into that second window with the linebacker, catch it, just get upfield. He's not a big yak player. That's not going to ever be a part of his game. More so like a possession guy, smart, get to where he needs to be. Him and Quinn clearly have built something. That also might be a reason he doesn't get claimed, because it'd just be like, maybe his chemistry is just with Ewers, and they can still just try to build that, while Quinn's still working as backup third string, and then Weiss on the practice squad. Here's another one where he didn't get a target, probably should have. You can just see like just the little nuances, the subtleties to the game, how he gets off the ball. That first step up the field vertically, and like gives a little bit of sink right there in that right leg. He sinks just a little bit, and it's able to freeze the DB just enough, widen him just enough for him to get on the inside path. And if Quinn was looking here, would have had a pretty nice gain over the middle of the field. Like he looked very comfortable, and definitely looks like he belongs in this game. Like at least with like he was better than other like third string level talent on teams, which usually I think is a sign like in preseason that you at least belong in the league somewhere. Maybe that first year is spent on the practice squad, but he's someone to definitely keep an eye on in the future. Another rep up here on sorry, down on the inside. At the bottom of the screen, him and Armstrong look pretty similar. Here's one where like it doesn't necessarily work. Like he tries to give like that hard stab to the outside. Like you can see he gets a little bit stuck, not super explosive when he tries to hard sink like this. I don't think he has that type of explosiveness to his game, but he's still able to work through that contact, create late separation, and still make a nice catch below the frame, secure the ball, showing a heads up play. Solid job there from Wease. And then here's another one where he tries he's at least throwing some stuff at DBs versus press man. I mean, I think he's more so maybe not a press man constant beater, but he does have that release package. Attack the outside. This guy's just playing inside leverage, so it is tough. But it's that like diamond release break across the face, not able to create much separation or finish there. But I do like that he's at least throwing different looks on releases. So yeah, definitely was a fan of how he played in this game. You get the 2 touchdowns, but I think the underrated part is that Nuance has carried over because that was his probably best trade in college. Nuance and understanding of the game, and then I think his acceleration looked pretty good, which definitely gives me some hope. And then just the Dolphin scheme is so predicated on just being in the right spot at the right time, and he looked the part in that situation. Now, if he ever was actually to get real playing time in a regular season game, could he build that chemistry with Tua? Maybe. He seems like a guy that you can build chemistry with pretty easily because he built it up with Ewers pretty quick, and seems to be like hitting these in breakers at the right time when the QB hits his back foot, which is an underrated part of the game when playing receiver for the Miami Dolphins. Sometimes that goes past talent. That I think is probably the thing that's maybe least noticed when you end up watching the games from a broadcast view. Is that a lot of the times, a lot of targets for the Dolphins ends up being versus zone coverage and just getting to where you need to be at the right time where the QB expects you to be and finding that spot in that window because that's honestly like 70% of the throws in the Dolphin system. And then like the other looks, you might have to be like truly just better than the person across from you, but that's just not a common occurrence in the Dolphins offense. So if you guys the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.